Hey guys, it's Eric. Today I want to talk about a problem that can get pretty annoying, and that is when your appliance just doesn't stick. Now, there are actually a lot of reasons why an ostomy appliance might not stick or might not stick well. Unfortunately, I could probably go on for a few hours because there's a lot of them. So I will have a full list in the article that I've linked below. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you some of the most popular reasons why your ostomy appliance might not be sticking so well. So at the top of the list, I'm going to have to say it's the type of products that you're using on your skin. Yes, the soap that you use, the shampoo that you use, conditioner that you use, moisturizers that you use, extra ostomy supplies that you use, a lot of them are creating like a film on your skin, especially ones that have oil in it, and that will cause your wafer's adhesive to completely fail. It's best to avoid these products if you can. If you have to use them for whatever reason, especially if you're having a shower with your appliance off, you do want to make sure that you've rinsed the area with just plain water before you start the rest of your routine to put a new appliance on. Another really important thing to remember is that when you're putting on a new appliance, you want to make sure that your skin is as dry as possible. Now, some people will just let their bare skin just air out for a bit, while others will use a hair dryer to kind of speed up the process. Whatever you do, just make sure that when you go to put your appliance on, your skin is nice and dry. And what I tend to do when I'm changing my appliances, I'll have a bit of gauze and I will actually just put it just around my stoma just to get some of that liquid that's coming off the stoma naturally, so that when I actually go and put on my appliance, even if my stoma touches it a little bit, it's not going to actually create a problem with that wafer, because once that wafer gets wet, it's not going to stick well. So try to get it on your skin when it's as dry as possible. Now, for many of us, we may actually have skin issues, whether it's an allergy, whether it's a secondary problem to perhaps the illness that we might have, or even incision wounds and scars. If you're having those type of problems, I would suggest you talk to an ET nurse, because sometimes you might actually need medication, either topically or something that you would take orally, in order to help with that problem. Now, they may also help to diagnose whether or not you have an allergic reaction to your appliance. And if that's the case, you're going to want to be trying a different brand of product that has a different type of adhesive to see if there's one that'll work best for you. Now, another really common thing that I've seen a lot of people experiencing when they're having problems with their wafer sticking on is the overuse or the incorrect use of many ostomy supplies. So what do I mean by incorrect use? Well, first of all, if you're using a stoma paste, you should know that less is better. You don't want to be smearing that all over the bottom of your wafer because it's not an adhesive. At the same time, if you're using stoma powder, you want to make sure that you've given your skin a light dusting and then take as much of that powder off of your skin and or put a barrier product on top of that before you put your wafer on. That powder creates a very poor surface for your wafer's adhesive to stick to, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for you in the long run. Now, this is something that affects me, but I'm sure a lot of you have the same problem. And that is the type of appliance that you're wearing, whether it's an extended wear product or a regular wear product, will have an impact over how long that product stays on your skin before it starts to peel and come off. Now, for me, I tend to stay completely away from regular wear products. For some reason, I just don't feel secure in them. I feel like they start peeling very quickly, and I generally have to put on wafer extenders and tape and things like that just to keep things secure. So for me, it's an extended wear wafer, and I prefer the ones with tape borders. I just think that they feel better, they feel secure on me, and they don't tend to peel as much as some of the other thicker wafers that I've tried. Now, this is a common problem if you've got a very high output stoma, or if you're like me, you're just lazy and you don't empty your pouch as often as you should. And that is actually the weight or incorrect support of your pouching system. So if you're happen to just let it go a few times and, your pouch gets full when it really should be emptied, you might want to consider having either an accessory belt or some kind of support garment to just take some of that weight off of your wafer. What tends to happen is if you just let it go too often, that weight will start to pull on your wafer and it'll actually start to pull the wafer away from your skin, and then you're going to have really big issues, including leaks. Now, I know that for some ostomates, if you have an ostomy because of cancer and you're currently going through cancer treatment, keep in mind that a lot of the treatment may impact how your skin heals and may create issues with your skin that will also prevent your wafer from sticking properly. If you suspect that this is an issue that you're having, again, I would talk to a stoma nurse or even a dermatologist to find ways to help mitigate some of these challenges that you might be having. In some cases, you may just require some extra support for your pouch, whether that's in the case of using an accessory belt or even a wafer extender or tape, so be it. But there are ways, I think, that you're going to be able to work around some of these challenges until they clear up on their own. So guys, I hope you like that list. If there's anything you'd like to add, please let me know. So please like this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you think that somebody else might be able to benefit from this information, please pass it along. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.